Hey, welcome to my short video on where to climb at Summersville Lake, West Virginia. Take a look at your Apple Maps or your Google Maps to match up certain locations with my drawing. I'm going to be talking at length. You can kind of skip through this and go to the areas that are most interesting to you. Okay, so you've come to Summersville Lake and you want to try some deep water soloing, but you don't know where to go, you don't know where to sleep, etc. So this is obviously a very rough drawing. Sorry, it's a little windy out here. A very rough sketch of Summersville Lake. We kind of use long point, and let's use the dam. If you can find the Summersville Lake Dam, you can kind of use it as our starting point. This is where you go if you want to stay for free, basically. Right here, there's free camping just on the west side of this dam. There are some semi-clean bathrooms down here. You can have 2 vehicles per site. There's a fire ring, and you can usually hear the Gully River flowing when you sleep. Not bad. The dam is a popular spot for whitewater rafters. They drive down a windy road over here and put their boats in, and there's some very difficult rapids, stuff that's really not designed for beginners. At this free campsite over here, you're on this road that goes just south of the lake. There's a little turn in, you kind of wind around for a while. There's free camping down here. There's about 20 sites. There's 2 bathrooms available to you. One is just outhouse style, doesn't have any running water. That's going to be closest. And if you take a less than 1/8 mile walk from the camping back toward the dam, there are some other bathrooms that do have some water. There's some places to fill your water bottles and stuff for free. You can also hike down to just along the river here and do some fishing or relax here. This water is very cold, so if you're into getting into cold water, you can pretty much do that year round. Even in the summer, the water is pretty chilly. Kind of freshen up. Water is also pretty clean, so it's kind of a nice spot to relax down here along the Gully River. If you are wanting or willing to spend some more money and you want a little bit nicer camping experience, this same road that runs over the bridge that goes over the dam, if you just kind of take that down, you'll start to see signs heading west over here for a place called Battle Run. Battle Run campgrounds, I want to say, are probably somewhere between $20 and $40 a night. The advantage to going there is that if you have a boat, anything from something inflatable, a small kayak, a small motorboat, you can get a campsite in the grass just next to your boat. And that way you don't have to deal with launching it every day, all the troubles that come along with that. So this is a nice option to stay at Battle Run. Another place that is a few bucks a night, I want to say around $30 a night, is a lighthouse. It's called like Summersville Lake Retreat. If you just search the lighthouse, it's the only working lighthouse in the state of West Virginia. The Lighthouse Campground is also right off Route 19 that runs roughly north and south through the Summersville and Mount Nebo areas. If you stay at this, Lighthouse Retreat, they do have boat rentals, kayaks, showers, little store. You can get necessities. They sell firewood. You can buy firewood here even if you're not staying there. This Lighthouse Retreat no longer has direct water access. Years ago, there was a way to hike down to the water and get to a climbing area here called Rat Hole, which is really good, but that I think is now private property, so you would need to drive in to one of the other lake access points like everybody else. Okay, so those are some places to stay, 3 places. Yeah, Battle Run over here, the free camping area, which I usually choose. It's pretty nice. For free, you can hear the sound of the water all night, so that's an excellent option. If you want a little bit fancier stay, maybe you're with somebody who only wants to stay somewhere where there are showers, and just a little bit, I wouldn't call it glamping, but a little more comfortable, then maybe you choose the Lighthouse Retreat. If you have a bigger boat and you're wanting to store it or launch it, there is a marina that is kind of over here when you're looking at the map, and you just put that in your Google Maps or Apple Maps. It'll tell you how to get to the Summersville Lake Marina. We don't really need to go over all that.
You can also turn left immediately, right when you turn on the road that leads to the marina, and go down Salmon Run. This is even easier than the marina.
So for deep water soloing, your question is, where can I go deep water solo? I'm going to mention 3 areas that I think are excellent for deep water solo. First one, and probably most important we can talk about, is the Whippoorwill area. This has the shortest hike, the easiest access to deep water solo climbing. You can bring your sup board or your kayak or whatever and carry it down to the water. It's about a 5-minute hike from a parking area. There's probably about 30 spots or so to park, and it even overflows sometimes to where people are parking off of Route 19 and then hiking down into it. I wouldn't suggest that. Route 19, the traffic is moving pretty fast. It's a little bit dangerous to park right off the road on Route 19, so you want to try to get, I believe it's called Whippoorwill Road, but if you search Whippoorwill, you should find a little road that comes right off of Route 19 and then makes this kind of L shape, and you just drive down this road that's parallel to Route 19. You park your car along that road, and you'll kind of see toward the end of that road, you'll see where other people are going when it's on a nice day. It takes you through the woods here for about 5 to 7 minute walk down to this funky little worm shape I've drawn here, Whippoorwill area. So this is going to give you access to a ton of rock climbing. You just get in the water there. You can swim to your right, you can swim to your left, look around over there. I say bring some goggles, bring a snorkeling mask or whatever, because just because it looks like deep water solo, you want to go ahead and verify for yourself that it's going to be safe for you to climb and fall in, watch other people, etc. Check it out before you climb 30 feet and jump in. You don't want anything serious to happen to you. So, but if you're looking for something really fun and you can climb moderates, there is a 510A called Johnny Bravo. You can look this up on Mountain Project or just type it into Google, Johnny Bravo Summersville. The route Johnny Bravo is a beautiful overhanging route full of jugs. and you will not be sorry if you can make it to that. From the area where you're going to enter the water here at Whippoorwill, it's about a 5 to 10 minute swim, depending on how fast you swim. Also a short paddle, just going north. You'd enter the water and then just kind of go up. So Johnny Bravo is kind of on the northern tip of the Whippoorwill area. You'd say it's right about here. You can almost see the bridge from Johnny Bravo. This is the Hughes Bridge, Hughes. So you can look for that on your map if you're wondering where this stuff is. From the Whippoorwill area, this is, I mean, you can have weeks of fun climbing around the stuff that's here at Whippoorwill. If you want to check out another area, you can drive north of this Hughes Bridge and turn into the state park. This state park is fairly newly established. Within the last few months here, it just opened, and now you can get campsites all around the state park. But if you're going in there and you just want to park and get access to deepwater solo climbing, or you want to access the orange Oswald Wall, which is full of roped climbs, single pitch sport routes, maybe even some trad in there. Don't quote me on the trad part, but there's definitely a lot of sport climbing there. And this Pirates Cove area has got a number of deepwater solo spots where you can kind of play around. The state park is the entrance is right off of 19. If you're going north, you'll just take a right, and then you'll take another immediate right when you pull into the state park, and it'll lead you over to a gravel parking area. From that gravel parking lot, you're going to walk through the woods, about 20 to 30 minutes hike. This is a longer hike, but it will then just take you south to the water. This is supposed to represent water here, Summersville Lake. From these trails, you could also bring a small boat down here. This is kind of a longer hike, so this isn't the place I usually suggest that you carry a boat, but you could if you're ambitious. You can see people climbing some steep overhanging 512, 513 stuff down here. That's pretty cool to watch. It's a great swimming area. There's some rocks where you can kind of bask in the sun, lay around. Easily spend a whole weekend coming back here and having fun down here. If you drive just north of the bridge also, but then you turn left onto Airport Road, we can get to this third climbing area that I would suggest, and that is Long Point. So when you look on your map, Long Point is called Long Point for a reason. It kind of forms this peninsula shape here, and you can climb this kind of super photogenic arete, and there's various stuff on that arete that are probably somewhere between 5'9" and much harder, 5'12", 5'13", around there. Some of it you would not want to do as deepwater solo because it would not be a safe fall, but if you climb the arete itself, and I will have some photos later in this video so you can see what Long Point looks like. If you climb that arete there, it's not too hard, probably between 5'9" and 5'10" You can climb as high as you safely feel comfortable. In the summertime, the total height is around 60 feet, and most people will climb around the first 20 to 40 feet and then just bail into the water. You can just jump off there. Please note that it is technically illegal to go cliff jumping at Summersville. There is an exception for rock climbing. If you are climbing and you fall off of the rock, or you just kind of get to a spot where you're getting really tired, you need to safely exit and jump into the water, you can do that. Most likely the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and the police boats will not bother you if it appears that you're there for rock climbing. If you, however, come to Summersville and you hike to some big cliff and you're drinking alcohol and you're peer pressuring your friends into jumping off cliffs, they can give you pretty hefty fines. I've read some stuff online where, if you contest the fine, you go to court and you lose, it can be several $1,000s cost. And it's just not something you want to mess around with. You're going to see signs around here that says no cliff jumping greater than 6 feet. Do not make it look like you're here for cliff jumping. Come for climbing and enter the water safely. And don't hold me liable for anything here, because I'm just going to tell you, don't do any jumping if you can climb back into the water at a height less than 6 feet, and then you don't have to worry about it. A lot of these climbs, you can do a portion of it that's a little bit challenging, but then find an easier way to climb right back down so you don't have to jump at all. That's probably your best bet. So we've got these 3 areas here. One last time, Long Point. If you search Long Point Grill and Bar, you can see this lookout from right across the street. It's quite stunning. This is me climbing that. Some more of Long Point right here. This is about as high as I'm usually comfortable going before I climb back down to the water. Whippoorwill. And Pirates Cove. If you're brand new to the area, bring a hammock. You may see slackliners. You can bring your sup board. This is the easiest access. There's stuff as easy as probably about 5'4" to much harder, all within a short swim of the Whippoorwill area. Snorkel the area first, check it out, make sure it's safe, and try to get to Johnny Bravo 510A. So if you've made it this far in this video, I'm going to go ahead and include a bunch of photos so you can kind of take a look and be lured into coming to Summersville and trying deep water solo.
Here's a look at Long Point from Long Point Lookout. Then you have Rat Hole right across from Long Point. This is part of Whippoorwill. Just hike down to the water, look to your left, and you'll see this. Long Point again. You can boat there or take a trail.
Some more scenery from the Long Point area. You can boulder around down here. You can snorkel. It's pretty nice. A few years ago, I met a guy named Cam down here. He's climbing Rat Hole here, a series of overhangs. Very cool, near Long Point. You can bathe every morning in the fresh Gully River. Here I am kind of just monkeying around on an edge at Long Point. This was just for a silly photo. You can see here that the rock is very featured at the Whippoorwill area. When you get down to the water, just look to your right and you'll find this stuff. Okay, that's all I have for my video on climbing at Summersville. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment. I will get back to you shortly. I can give you more info on specific routes if I've climbed them myself, and maybe some other tips about the Summersville area in general. Have fun.